Isaac Fita. Welcome to Pentagon Academy. This is the place where you are going to dig out the knowledge in mathematics. And here we have been given a question that is the GCE 2020 paper 2. So let's just go direct to the question. The values of x and y are connected by the equation y equals 3 minus 5x plus x squared plus x to the power 3. So the question continues. Some of the corresponding values of x and y are given in the table below. So these are the values. So we have x values, these that are on top, and the y values that are below. So as you know, and this question it carries 12 marks, and you have to make sure that you get all the marks that you have been given there. So very simple. So the first question, calculate the value of R. So R is here. I know that you can't see clearly, but I'm there to guide you. No wonder I'm trying to go through this reading. So the value of R. So R is standing for y. Okay. So on this equation, here we have got y equals 3 minus 5x plus x squared plus x to the power 3. Which means this R is y here. So what we will do, we are going to substitute. For us to find R, which is y, we are going to substitute. Where there is x, will be replaced by -1. So solutions will be here. So how are we going to solve R? So we are going to have an equation. Y equals 3 minus 5x plus x to the power 2 plus x cubed. So from there, where there is x, will be replaced by -1, because -1, it is one of the values of x. So which means -1 is equal to what? X. Or x is equal to what? -1. So there we continue as y equals 3 minus 5. So where there is x, we are going to be replaced with what? -1. So we are going to have -1 there. You open the bracket, you close. So which means here it means you are going to multiply it. So plus again -1. This is the same x. You power it plus again even here -1 cube there. So from there, for those that have calculators, just have to press direct there. But even if you can't use a calculator there, you just have to do it direct using your head, because these are simple equations. So we continue. So this y, we are saying that it is R equals 3. So here we are going to multiply. -5 times -1. So remember integers. Negative by negative, you are going to obtain positive sign. 5 times 1, you are going to have 5. So in fact, you have positive what? 5. So here, what does it mean? when you have -1 squared, it means you multiply -1 twice. So I'm going to have -1 times -1. So, like we did here, we multiply signs there. Negative times negative, we are going to have positive. 1 times 1, we are going to have 1. Which means -1 times -1, you have positive 1. So here we are going to have positive 1. Okay? Which means here we have positive 1. Positive times positive, we always get a positive. So we are going to maintain the same what sign there. So from there, we are going to have a positive sign there. And then we also do what? Evaluate this one. So -1 to the power 3. What does it mean? Which means you multiply -1 thrice. So how? -1 times -1 times -1. So what are we going to have there? First of all, let's start with signs. Negative or negative times negative. Positive. Positive times negative, you always get a negative. If you are having two different words, signs. So which means always a negative sign dominates a positive word sign. So you are going to have an answer that will have a negative. So from there, you even multiply what? 1 there. 1 times 1 times 1. You always get what? 1. So our answer here will be -1. So if we have -1, so why having two signs there? Like we have already done here, whereby having two signs there that are different, always negative is the one that's going to dominate the positive sign, like I said, which means positive times negative, we are going to have what? Negative. So we have 3 plus 5 plus 1 minus 1. So there we will just do direct. 3 plus 5, 8. 8 plus 1, 9. 9 minus 1, we are going to have 8. Okay. So we are going to have what? 8. So our value here is what? 8. So where there is R, which means it's what? 8. So from there, we have the second question there. So here we have been asked now to come up with a graph. So the question reads, taking 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on the x-axis, for which or for the range -3 is less or equal to x, which is less or equal to 3. That is for x-axis. And 2 centimeters to represent 10 units on the y-axis for this range from 0 to what? To 30. Now, draw the graph of y equals 3 minus 5x plus x squared plus x to the power 3. Which means we are going to come up with a what? With a graph. So, how is the graph going to be drawn? So, if we are using a graph paper, we have boxes. Now, we are going to understand when we come up with clearly a graph there on how we are going to draw. So, it will be explained very well. Okay. So, let's have this, space, because we have already obtained the R as what? 8. Okay. So we come up with the what? With the graph. So we have first of all to have a calculation here. You don't just go there and start drawing lines to come up with a graph. No, you calculate on how the graph is going to come out. So here on x-axis, so the numbers should start from -3 to +3. That will have 2 centimeters to carry 1 unit there. And then here we are going to have from 0 up to 30. Positive. We don't have a negative one. We are not going to have a negative number on the what? Y-axis there. Which means it is also going to have what? 2 centimeters. But 10 units. Which means 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, you go on. When they say 1 unit, which means they are natural numbers they want. Okay, counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. So here, since the y-axis will start from 0 up to 30. So let's have this direct there without wasting much of our time. And then we know that we are going to have a graph down there because this part below for negative, since we don't have negative figures or numbers down there. Okay. So this is our what? Y-axis. And this is the X what? Axis. So 2 centimeter we are just trying to make there, but 2 centimeter on the graph paper is that box that has the those small boxes. You count them, they are 10. That makes it 2 centimeters. Okay. So even this side. So here we have -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is what it means, 1 unit. Okay, for x-axis. And then 2 centimeters also y-axis to have 10 units up to 30. So they are going to have 2 centimeters also there. 2 centimeters. So they are going to have 10, 20, 30. You can go on. Since they have been given us to end up to what? 30 there. So from there, you come back to this table. So you are going to use these values to come up with the graph. So you plot. So how are you going to plot? X, we are starting with 3. -3, 0. So how are we going to spot -3 and 0 there on these two axes? So we start with what? X. Where there is the -3, it's here. Okay? And then 0 where? 0, which means 0 is on this what? Like because x is cutting y-axis at 0, which means it is along this what? X-axis. 0 is here, which means the line is there. So it will just start from where? Here. So which means here it's -3, 0. Okay. And then from there we have -2 x-axis, in y-axis, axis 9. So -2 is here, and then 9 where? You go up there. Okay? So since you know that, 5 is somewhere there, the half of 10. So you go up there, you find that if you are using the graph, we are going to below there, that's where you find 9 there. Where they are meeting, you mark. And then -1 comma r we find it as what? 8. So -1 comma 8. So -1 comma 8. So 8 is where? Below there. Okay. And then we have 0 comma 3. So 0 is the, okay, comma 3, which means you go up there. Okay, we assume 5 is here, which means just below there. Here. 0 comma 3. Okay. 1 comma 0. Positive 1 comma 0, which means it is here. 2 comma 5. 2 comma 5. We assume 5 to be somewhere there. Here. I hope we are following the way we are putting. And then we have 3 comma 24. So we have 3 comma 24. So after 20, 25 in between. So down there, there is simple one there, here. So these are the points that we have connected. So from there, we are going now to come up with a smooth curve line, which is this one, this equation. In fact, we are going to connect these what? Points. So you do it what? Smoothly. Do it smoothly. Smoothly. Okay, like this. Okay, since it's the board we are using there. Don't have to write too much. It's the board we are using. Okay. So you even name this one as y equals we have what? 3, yes. 3 minus 5x plus x the power 2 plus x the power 3. Okay. So this is an equation. Okay. So from there, okay. I mean, I didn't go far. We are hitting somewhere there. Yes. Yes. Couldn't notice for this point that is not made there. So that's the way now the curve is going to be. Okay, it's shining a bit this side, so I didn't see this one. Alright. So after now coming up with that graph, which means you have gotten this one and even this one. From there now we continue with other questions. So let's see the other questions the way they are. Okay.